Hello everyone and welcome to this course. In this course, we are going to cover the fundamentals of ChatGPT 5, Microsoft Copilot, prompt engineering, and AI agents. So let's go ahead and get started. So a quick introduction. So my name is Ahmed. I'm an assistant professor and best-selling online instructor. I have a master's degree with focus on artificial intelligence, a PhD degree in engineering, and I have an MBA in finance. I'm super passionate about teaching, and I taught over 500,000 students on Udemy and Coursera. I also run a YouTube channel where I teach artificial intelligence, AI agents, and large language models, and I included links here to both my YouTube channel and all my Udemy courses. And here is a map of all my students from all over the world, and I'm so grateful for each and every one of you. I also conduct corporate training to major tech companies and financial institutions all over the world, such as Discover, Jefferies, Barclays, and HSBC. So here is the course outline. First, we are going to start with an introduction to generative artificial intelligence. We will cover a demo of ChatGPT 5, Microsoft Copilot to conduct research and for general creative work. We'll also learn how to generate images and videos as well using these tools. We are going to learn about vibe coding and how can we build applications using GPT-5. We'll also learn about data extraction, analysis, and visualization as well using GPT-5 and using Copilot. I'm also going to cover the fundamentals of prompt engineering. And then we're going to have a module that covers artificial intelligence agents. We'll primarily learn how to use Deep Research Agent, Copilot Analyst Agent, and ChatGPT Agent, and also learn how to create our own custom GPTs, and then we'll end with concluding remarks. So the first question is, what do you even mean by generative AI? Well, generative AI is a subset of artificial intelligence that can create new content such as text, images, music, and videos that have never existed before. Let me show you an example. So here we have a generative AI model. This could be ChatGPT, for example, the latest and greatest 5, or it could be Microsoft Copilot. You simply prompt it, you talk to it in plain English. For example, you say generate an image of a city in the year 2500, and then this large language model, we call them, or these generative AI models, are going to generate a new output, a new image that looks like that, and this image has never existed before. And that's the idea of generative AI models. With that, let's go ahead, open ChatGPT 5 and get started with our demo. All right, so here we go. So now we have ChatGPT open, and now I have ChatGPT 5. You can simply use ChatGPT to do just or conduct general research. For example, you can ask it, list the top 10 largest US banks in the US by assets in 2024 and show the revenues. And these basically large language models like ChatGPT 5 is going to conduct research for us. It's going to find all these different links. It's going to come back with a nice concise summary that looks like that. And you can see here all the revenue figures as well. And it's also summarized in a tabular format. If you're happy with that table, you can go ahead and copy that table and then use it in your report, for example. What you could do as well is you can go ahead and ask it, okay, could you please display these results in a bar chart? And now you will see ChatGPT basically writing Python code behind the scenes. So if you go ahead and click here, you'll see a nice Python code that is being generated here. And it's going to run or execute that code for you. And you should be able to see the results as well coming back here. And look at this. So now we have a summary of all the revenues of all the different US banks like JP Morgan, Bank of America, and so on. What you could do as well is you can go ahead and ask ChatGPT to provide you with real-time information of, let's say, Bitcoin. So now what you see is ChatGPT is going to come up with real kind of time pricing of Bitcoin, and it's an interactive chart as well. So it's super powerful. You can see, for example, here over the months, over the years, and so on. And all of that is displayed in one location in your ChatGPT window. Okay, next, let's go ahead, and I wanted to show you how to use ChatGPT for creative writing. So if you'd like to start a new chat, you can go on the left-hand side here and click a new chat. And I can go ahead and ask it, for example, I want you to write an email for me to, let's say, Richard Marino, for example, who is the owner of a famous Italian restaurant in Toronto. I would like you to ask them to offer kind of content creation services for them. So if you go ahead and run it, now you'll find ChatGPT writing actually pretty good email. And you will notice that right here, ChatGPT is going to decide whether it needs advanced reasoning behind the scenes or not. And look at this. So now you got a subject here for the email telling you here, hi Richard, writing basically a very well written email. It's like a human who wrote this email. And you should see here, for example, because I asked it to provide 2 examples of content that I can deliver, now you should see 2 example content here as well in the email. What you could do next is, well, you can test the creative ability of these large language models like ChatGPT 5, and you can ask it, could you please turn that into a poem? And now you should see a nice poem that is being created in Toronto's heart, your table's dream, Italian craft, a timeless dream. I bring a lens to catch that light and share your story day and night. And there is also a really nice rhythm as well associated with it. What you could do next is you can go ahead and ask it, well, could you please turn that into an Instagram post with hashtag? And now you should see a nice Instagram post that is being created and all the hashtags here. And it understood that we're talking about Toronto here, for example. Okay. What you could do as well is you can ask ChatGPT to brainstorm ideas. For example, you can say, imagine you are on Tesla's innovation team and you would like to explore here autonomous driving, for example, and what features we can do to enhance the experience for customers. And now you should see adaptive mood cabin, mixed reality, panoramic glass, really nice ideas. Maybe I like, for example, let's say wellness on wheels. So you can say number 4. And now basically ChatGPT is going to remember that you're talking about number 4 here, which is the wellness on wheels idea. And now it's going to elaborate here on that idea. Okay. With that, that's all I have for this video. I hope you enjoyed it.